Hi, my name is Henry James Beck. I am a Client Relationship Officer at Healy Consultants Group, Dubai. Subject of this video is a South African engagement that we recently completed. Our client contacted us through Healy Consultants Group's website and they inquired about South African company Incorporation for their multinational organization. The client explained to us that they wanted to establish a subsidiary for their organization which was exclusively going to be offering intra-company IT support services for their conglomerate. South Africa in particular was selected because of its favorable time zone in relation to the United Kingdom, Europe, Africa, and East Asia. The client was attended to by our CEO of Africa and Americas, Kunal Fabiani, who understood the client's requirements and informed them of the pertinent information they needed to know about setting up in South Africa, such as the need for the client to have a local public officer, and that it was mandatory if they were going to have employees in the country to register for payroll taxes in countries such as pay-as-you-earn, unemployment insurance fund, and skills development levy. After Kunal sent the client a proposal for setting up in South Africa, they confirmed that they were happy to proceed, after which Kunal furnished them with an invoice, our engagement letter, as well as a checklist of the due diligence documents we were going to require from them. Shortly after receiving the requested information and documentation, Kunal planned out the engagement onto a project plan which was shared with the client for transparency. The company in South Africa was incorporated within 2 weeks, and we provisioned a local registered address as well as a nominee public officer to help meet local regulation. This is when I stepped in to help the client register for PAYE, UIF, and SDL, as well as secure them a bank account in South Africa. The client informed us that they wanted a bank account with Standard Chartered South Africa, which is a bank that they have an international relationship with already. This is when we asked them for a relationship manager that we could get in touch with to discuss a local bank account. Standard Chartered South Africa only works on an internal referral system, and therefore we had to get this internal referral to get the account for them. Once we received the internal reference as well as a relationship manager contact in South Africa for Standard Chartered, I began liaising with them about setting up a company for our client's newest subsidiary. I built a business plan specifically to the client's South African business, which essentially included information such as initial deposits, expected annual turnover, where payments would be received from and be made to, and this was then provided to Standard Chartered to begin the account opening process. The bank then requested due diligence documentation for the company, including shareholder documentation, director details, and bank signatory information. This was simultaneously when the world was being hit with COVID-19 and countries were locking down globally. South Africa in particular went into one of the strictest lockdowns the world saw during this period. It was a very challenging account opening process. After weeks of back and forth, we managed to negotiate that the accounts be opened without the client having to courier the original signed and notarized documents. They agreed to open on scanned copies, with the agreement that at a later stage, when the world was opening its borders again, our client would courier the original documents. The engagement took us approximately 4 months to complete, which is a little bit longer than usual, but this was caused directly by the COVID-19 situation. However, at the end of the project, the client's business was fully legal, operating, and ultimately they were satisfied with the way the engagement turned out.